Hey guys, we are back for another Marvel Legends review, taking a look at some of the comic side of this Molten Man wave. So I'm definitely getting more interested in the figures that we have to deal with right now. And we're taking a look at one of two figures that I am very much interested in particular. That would be Hydro Man. So we've got this guy here in our standard Marvel Legends packaging, of course. You've got him there in the window, Spider-Man logo down there on the bottom, comic-based artwork on the side along with that same artwork on the back, as well as a write-up, and then we've got our Build-A-Figure and the lineup for the wave down there on the bottom. So let's do it. Let's crack this guy out and take a look. And here he is out of the package, our Hydro Man. This is an interesting figure. He's certainly not perfect. I've got some definite gripes when it comes to this figure, but from a visual perspective, I'm pretty happy with what's going on here. I really like the way this figure looks, but he definitely has some trouble when it comes to articulation. So let's jump right in there, take a look, see how he moves around. So the head can look up a pretty good bit. He goes down really far. Rotate side to side. Arms go out. They rotate at the shoulder. There is kind of a soft ratchet feel to that. He's got, I guess, what you would consider an elbow swivel. It's really more at the bicep level, but he only has an elbow swivel here, technically, because that's the joint. And these guys are beyond limited. So that's the extent of the hinge there, just because of the sculpt. And then you've got hinge and rotation at the wrist. He moves in a lot better than he moves out. This arm is just as bad, maybe even a little worse. It only goes about that far, so there's not even 45 degrees in some ways on these arms. They are definitely the big limiting factor when it comes to articulation. He has got an ab crunch. It's really, really loose, though. There is a lot of floppiness going on here. I don't know if it's just mine, and he really doesn't even want to sit upright. He kind of wants to lean forward almost, which for my posing probably isn't going to be a big issue, but it's still a thing. You've got a twist at the waist. Legs go out to really far. They kick forward and back just a little. You got your thigh cuts. You got your double jointed knees, and then you've got rocker, and of course you've got hinge at the ankles, and those ankles do move quite a bit. So he does move interestingly enough. He definitely has some limitations, and then I do have some floppiness at the torso. I don't know if that's unique to me or not, but you may want to take that into consideration because I'm sure it's not just me. I don't think that it's going to be unique to my figure, but I can't personally say. Now, as far as the overall look and feel, I like the way this guy looks. Obviously, for the sake of design, we lost some articulation, but for me, that's not a huge deal in this case. I do like the way he turned out, and I do believe that he reuses the body from Netflix Luke Cage. I don't have that figure, but it certainly looks right to me, and I like the way it looks. I like the black shirt, nice wrinkles sculpted in there. Just solid design, nothing really to speak of that's good or bad. It's a shirt, and it works. Same with the blue jeans and legs, they work just fine. And then, of course, you've got the boots down here. So it all just works fine to make him look just kind of like a regular guy. Of course, he does have these crazy arms going on, and I think they look fantastic. I'm really happy with the way the translucent plastic turned out. They look convincingly like water to me. They could probably use a little whitewash on them to, give it that white-blue effect that water generally has and would have in a comic book, but I can understand why they likely didn't do that for this figure just from a cost perspective. But I think it looks good. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Of course, I'm a sucker for translucent blue plastic, but even that aside, I think the effect is really well sold here, and I'm just happy with the way it turned out. He looks like a solid figure to me, and he very much evokes the character of Hydro Man. The head sculpt is another area where, again, I don't really have anything to gripe about. It's a weird-looking expression, don't get me wrong. It's kind of goofy-looking, but it's nicely done, and it very much convinces me that this is, again, Hydro Man. The sculpted wrinkles and lines in the face are all nicely applied, and then you've got very straight, very clean and crisp eyes and eyebrows, and then you've got a pretty decent hair sculpt as well, with just solid line work, and again, no issues to speak of. It's just a unique head sculpt specific for this character, and I think they did a really solid job with it, despite the fact that, again, it is slightly on the goofy-looking side, but it very much works for me. And then as far as accessories goes, we do have effect pieces for this guy. So he has got two pieces of more blue translucent plastic to give him a water effect look from the feet, from the ground up. And these just slide over top of his feet and legs, so they're not actually a part or a replacement or anything. They just slide over top, and they are kind of keyed almost. They are sculpted to fit specifically on one foot, although they'll with enough work you can get them on either one, but I think they look good the way they're supposed to be, and they look really nice when you have them on too, because it gives this kind of shaded look with the shadows being cast from the figure itself. So I'm really happy with the entire package here. I like the arms to begin with, and then I really like, again, more blue translucent plastic, but I like the idea of giving him multiple points of water transformation, and it sells the illusion pretty well. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this guy. He turned out basically how I expected him to. I think he looks fantastic. I'm really happy with just about everything from a visual perspective, from a design perspective, and I really, of course, enjoy the translucent plastic. So there's a lot of that here, and it just looks nice. I do, of course, have to note again that he is definitely limited when it comes to articulation, and it's not a huge downside for me personally because I do like the way he looks so much, but I can understand how it's definitely a bother to some folks, and it certainly is a negative in a general sense. He really can't move his arms all that well, so of course it has to be noted, but I can overlook it in some capacity just because he does look so cool. Otherwise though, pretty solid figure with some hindrances here and there, but he's definitely going to pop against some other Spider-Man villains. So that's going to do it for this look at the Marvel Legends Hydro Man figure. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.